Hey baddies, it's your girl Bevy, and a lot of you have been asking, and I'm here to give you the tea for free, which is Bevy, drop the skincare routine. Okay, so I'm gonna do this against my will. I'm gonna do this, right? But for those of you who are new to the channel, because I'm getting new subbies every day, new subbies, new baddies, thank you. Welcome to the familia. I love you. Thank you so much. OMG. I really didn't think that I was really doing all of that, but apparently I'm adding value. Oh my gosh, who would have knew? Anyway, so long story short, a lot of you are asking for the skincare routine or your skin is nice. If you are older to the channel, you notice that there's been a transition where in the beginning of the channel, I would have loads of makeup on, which some of you remind me. Loads of makeup on. Obviously, my skin I was working on it. I was transitioning. And I kind of made the I don't really need makeup transition, like that whole commitment. Like, I don't want makeup. If I do, it's just because I want to pop out, you know, but like 80% of the time, I'm bare skin, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I really can't even tell the difference when I actually do have makeup on anyway, but because I like to keep it simple. But anyway, long story short, here's the skincare routine, okay? Let me just get to the point because y'all know I like to talk, so let's jump right in. So how do I get my skin like this? Let's start with the fact that during the time that I lost my hair, I also started experiencing cystic acne along the jawline, whatever. I'll try to insert some pics. Your girl was a hot mess, okay, y'all? She was a hot mess. Obviously, there were underlying conditions. Go check my hair loss story. All of that was kind of like mixed in, right? I was on a spectrum for PCOS, meaning that I wasn't quite there to be diagnosed with PCOS, but I had all the PCOS symptoms, and I also was close enough to say I had PCOS without having an official diagnosis. So long story short, hormonal imbalance, gut health issues, I mean, just everything, just, you know what I'm saying, basura. And so your girl, you know, kind of made lifestyle changes, right? Intermittent fasting had a lot to do with that. So this is not gonna be the skincare regimen that's gonna be like, you know, I ate healthy and I fasted. I promise y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the products that I use and all of that. But I just have to preface this by saying you can do what I did and not get the same results if you're not taking a step back and actually dealing with the underlying problem, right? It's the same thing with hair growth and hair loss. The hair loss is a symptom of something else going on. I don't care if it's temporary or if it's permanent, but there's something else going on that you need to tend to first. If you ignore that, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. Okay, so that's the thing. First things first, we're going to take care of the underlying condition, and then second, we're going to then do the following things that I did. By the way, I keep it very, very simple. I need kind of like the lazy girl curly hair regimen, just like I need the lazy girl skincare regimen, because if I have to put like 6 products on, it's clip. You know what I'm saying? It's a dub from day one. Here's what I do, okay? First things first, to clear up the acne, obviously I took an antibiotic. It was called Serum. And I'm gonna, because as far as all the products, I was just being lazy. I didn't feel like grabbing the products and just showing it to y'all. I'm gonna do what I normally do and just name them. Serum. So that's an antibiotic, almost like a doxycycline. It's an antibiotic that's there to kill the bacteria that's sitting on your skin, right? And then also it works systemically to kill any more of the bacteria. Sometimes acne can be associated with way too much of this bacteria on your skin and just kind of circulating through the body. So it deals with that. So those of you who are antibiotic, that's fine. You can skip this part. You don't need to do that. Hey baddies, it's your girl Bevy, and I'm interrupting you really quickly because I have to ask this very important question. Why am I not at 100K subscribers yet? Let's keep it a buck. I'm giving you real content. I'm dropping game for free, and I have loads of comments, okay? Loads of comments from my baddies saying that my content has helped them on their path to hair regrowth, okay? Effective hair regrowth. So please, okay, help a sister out. Start liking, okay? Liking these videos to help me in the algorithm. Subscribe to this channel. Share this content with your friends that may or may not be honest about whether or not they need my help, okay? And most importantly, I'm dropping a hair growth serum very, very soon. Please click the link down in the description box, okay? And leave your information so that you can be the first to know. I'm about to turn the hair loss treatment, okay, space upside down on its head because the gatekeepers don't look like me, and I'm about to fix that, okay? I'm looking out for your interests. I'm really helping you because I really care. This is my mission and I need your support. So that's all I had to say. Okay, continue on. For the most part, you can skip that part. For those people who didn't want to use antibiotics, there was a product called Nicodam that was kind of like a dietary supplement that treated inflammatory conditions like acne, rosacea, and alopecia. It's not necessarily on the market for purchase. It's one of those products that has to be written via prescription and is not covered by anything. But the star ingredient in that product is niacinamide. It was 800 milligrams of niacinamide. So if you just want to do what it do, you can get the niacinamide. They sell them by, so they have the 1000 milligrams of niacinamide, but it's 2 capsules, 500 milligram capsules you can take immediately, or you could take one in the morning, one at night. And it basically has anti-inflammatory properties, and it really works well as almost like an antioxidant to fight free radicals that are in your body wreaking havoc, causing cellular death and killing actually good cells that you need in your body. And so I talk about this stuff all the time on this channel. I'm not going to go in too deep. I'm not going to bore you too much. But first I started with that. Now on an everyday basis, once I was done with that, I continue what I use on my hair care. It also works with my skin, right? So I keep the biotin down. I keep high protein. I eat obviously cruciferous vegetables, lots of fruits and all that good stuff, whatever. Drink lots of water. I got my little cup right here. Ton of water, ton of water. Now, here's what I do. I do chemical peels every month, okay? Now, I do something called a superficial peel. It's not like the big, strong chemical peels that you guys see where people are like, kind of like, they're like literally shedding like snakes. These are superficial peels with glycolic acid. It's a beta hydroxy acid. It's typically oil-based, and it's really good for sensitive skin. You know, it exfoliates, right? And I have a video on here about exfoliating, or should have a video on here about exfoliating your scalp. So it's a deeper chemical exfoliator. Again, removing the top layers of the skin, it kind of reveals the shinier side of you. Every time I do this glycolic peel, literally the next day, and it continues to happen over time, my face just looks brighter and brighter and brighter. I'm not brightening my skin. I'm not using anything to brighten and lighten, but I had a lot of discoloration, a lot of hyperpigmentation, especially after giving birth. That's just something that happens a lot, especially to us, you know, melanated beauties, okay? When we have babies, our hormones start to cause a lot of discoloration or hyperpigmentation, especially around this area. And so my glycolic peels were really good for kind of removing a lot of that dead skin, just bringing forth, you know, fresh skin, removing old cells, old dead cell layers and all that stuff. So it exfoliates my skin. I do that once a month. Another thing that I do once a month, minus the summer months, is something called PRP on my face, okay? Now, PRP, platelet-rich plasma, is a process where they're separating your platelets from your blood. Now, the platelets are going to be they call it liquid gold. The platelets are going to be amazing if you are eating healthy, eating right, drinking a lot of water. Sometimes if you're dehydrated, you're not releasing enough platelets. And so this is stuff that you need to do so you can have that liquid gold. So I know it sounds boring when I say eat right, drink and do all that good stuff, but the truth of the matter is there's some madness to all of that, right? There's science behind the madness. And so when they are taking your blood, removing your blood, and I'm gonna insert some B-roll here of this happening, they're basically separating it. They can explain it better than I can. The platelets are called liquid gold. Sometimes they make you drink water before they do it because they want you to be well hydrated so you can produce more. That is growth factors that's in that plasma. Those growth factors, when they're injected into your skin and or scalp, because PRP, and I'm gonna have a video on that for the scalp coming out very soon. PRP is kind of teaching the body to reboost collagen. So when you reboost collagen, you're helping to fortify those structures in your skin, in your body, that you eventually and essentially lose when you're 25 and older. As you get older, you start to lose collagen, and this is helping you rebuild collagen. So it's not superficially adding collagen back into your body. It's adding it, but it's kind of tricking the body to create more collagen. And so I do the PRP once a month, and it also comes with the microneedling. And so, you know, they're taking the plasma and they're microneedling it into my pores, right? So my pores are now opening up. The microneedling is also causing bruises and causing kind of like these lacerations to the skin, to the face. Obviously, this is done in a very sterile environment, very clean environment. And what's happening is that it's triggering tricking your skin, your body, to have an inflammatory response. Now, Beverly, inflammation is terrible. Not exactly. The overproduction of anything is terrible, right? But inflammation within itself is a good thing because it's your body, it's your body signals, it's your immune system saying there's something damaged, we need to hurry up and repair it. So the number one way that it repairs it is by kind of like pooling blood in that area. It's like sending blood to that area, and it's triggering a whole bunch of cells and cytokines. It's triggering cytokines and all these inflammatory markers to go and start repairing, right? Start building, rebuilding. And that's good, obviously, again, for collagen production, kind of rebuilding the skin's infrastructure, but also for blood circulation and oxygenation. So all of that is good because when you have blood flow going to an area, it's delivering nutrients to that area. That's why now it all makes sense, right? So you shouldn't be having like Big Macs and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and whatever. The bottom line is that's why it's important to be hydrated. It's important to eat well, taking your macronutrients the way that you should, because your body is sending nutrients. And I have a ton of video on this via the gut and hair connection to your hair, right? But it's the same thing that is happening to your skin. And so now this is where this is a situation where we're actually extracting these same growth factors that's working systemically internally to do it to your face externally and kind of like really accelerate that healing process. So I'm gonna insert some pictures and some videos, but bottom line is this process is go. There's a lot of other things that's out there like lasers, RF lasers and different things like that. And I'll talk about that in probably future videos. But right now I'm living for these PRP treatments. They used to call them vampire facials, but they're not really vampire facials because you're not essentially putting blood on your skin. You're just applying the growth factors, AKA the platelets, onto your skin, the liquid gold. Through the microneedling, you're gonna see some bleeding because you're creating these, I don't wanna say tears or cuts, but you're basically creating wounds to the skin. And so this I do once a month with the exception of the summer months. Why? Because my dermatologist doesn't recommend doing it in the summer because your skin is extremely sensitive. It's prone to UVB, UVA light and all of that stuff. So the best thing that you wanna do is you just wanna do this during the cold months, all of that. You can cover your face, etc. You're not truly exposed to excessive amounts of heat and or UVB, UVA rays, right? UV light. So I do my chemical peels, which are superficial peels. Glycolic acid is a beta hydroxy acid, right? And I do that once a month religiously. I do once a month my PRP treatments on my skin that just makes me just glow. It makes me look younger. I do that. Those are the two cosmetic treatments / chemical treatments that I do where I go see a professional. But the other thing that I do now, just this is every day, right? This is everyday maintenance, is I wash my face with sodium sulfur cetamide, okay? Sodium sulfur cetamide. It's a sulfur wash. Sulfur is really good. Okay, so baddies, your girl uses a sodium sulfur cetamide wash. This is given to me through prescription only. Now, I've tried to find a dupe for this over the counter or I've tried to find it on Amazon or somewhere where you can get a sodium sulfur cetamide wash to wash your face. It works magical wonders for your girl, for anybody, quite honestly. But I've been having a hard time finding it. It seems like it's only available via prescription, and it seems like anything that you can find online, you're paying like bananas. You're paying an arm and a leg, okay? You're literally dropping a deposit on a house. So listen, if you have not realized the benefits of having a dermatologist in your back pocket so that you can be like, listen, girl, I'm gonna need a prescription for this and that and that and that and that. If you still don't realize that, then I'm sorry. You really have not been on this channel, okay? But anyway, so let me just give you a little bit of, let's do a quick little deep dive into why a sulfur wash is exceptional for your skin, okay? So long story short, acne, we already know, is caused by a number of different things, but specifically a bacteria or overgrowth of bacteria called P. acnes. There's a long name for it. I'm not even going to attempt it because I'm not going to sound stupid, right? But I'll probably list it down here for you. Anyway, so this bacteria lives in your sebaceous glands and in your hair follicles. So it can lead to inflammation, redness, breakouts, you name it. Okay. So insert the sulfur wash. It's going to come in and it's going to fight, or for the most part, it's going to neutralize the effects of the P. acnes. Okay. It's going to keep the P. acnes under subjection. It's going to check her. Okay. It's going to check her, boo. And it's going to do that, and it's going to promote clear skin and healthy skin. And the way that it does that is by effectively targeting and eliminating the P. acnes bacteria that's lurking in your skin. And it has ceramides. Well, some of them, not all, but most of them should have ceramides in them. That's going to provide nourishment and fortify the skin's barrier, okay? Which is a great way of saying it's just moisturizing your skin while it's also drying out and killing out these P. acnes bacteria. So the sulfur wash is good because it gently purges impurities from your skin, excess oil, dead skin cells, and it leaves your skin feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. And that's just some of the main things that it does. It also exfoliates your skin. Sulfur is good for helping to unclog your pores and preventing future breakouts. It controls your oil by regulating, sebum production. If you're an oily girl like me, you will notice that you will eventually see that your oils are starting to balance themselves out. So it's going to reduce that greasiness and that shine to help you maintain a balanced complexion, which I'm guilty of having extreme greasiness and shine, especially during the summer months. It's gentle on your skin. It's really gentle. Sulfur is just really, really gentle on your skin. And it's really good with other treatments for the most part. You can use sulfur wash safely and add it to your skincare routine. So if you don't have a sulfur wash and as part of your skincare regimen, and you're an oily girl, an acne prone girl, rosacea girl, whatever kind of girl you is, I really recommend a sulfur wash for you. Now, if you're looking for something over the counter really quickly, I really recommend Panaxil. It's a benzoyl peroxide wash. It's basically the same ingredient as oh gosh, what's the old one that was a good one? Proactive, but I think it's 10%, meaning it's a really high dose. It's really good. The problem with that is that with benzoyl peroxide, your skin and the bacteria on your skin does build a resistance to it. So eventually it's not going to have the same efficacy. It's not going to have the same potency. It's not going to work. And you would have to transfer over to sulfur, which doesn't, by the way, build a resistance. So if you need something really quickly, I recommend just grabbing Panaxil, but eventually go and book you an appointment and get you a sodium sulfacetamide wash. It's not covered by all insurances, unfortunately. So in the event that you cannot get one, there are some good over-the-counter sulfur products that may not be a wash. Of course, it's not going to be the same potency as a prescription. Here's a hack. If you want to get the benefits of sulfur without having a prescription, you can use the Peter Roth Thomas. They have a sulfur mask. You can do that once a week. Like on a Saturday, on a Sunday, do the sulfur mask. Again, it's not washing your face every day with it, but you're getting the benefits of the sulfur for your face. So I use the sodium sulfacetamide wash. I don't use Cetaphil. I don't use Neutrogena. The next thing that I do, if it's the morning time, I'm using SPF right after I wash my face. So this is what I use. Hold on. This is what I use. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench Broad Spectrum SPF 45 Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer UVA UVB Sunscreen Cream to Water Invisible Finish 30% Hyaluronic Acid Complex. Pentavitin, whatever. Helps provide up 72 hours of hydration. Listen, this is bae right here. I've been using this now for 2 years, a year and a half. My favorite of all time SPF, and the hyaluronic acid complex in this is so dope. Here's why: because the technology, it allows the pores to kind of open up and like literally drink the hyaluronic acid off your face. When you first put it on, it feels like it's sitting on your face, right? So you're like, okay, I mean, you feel nice and dewy, but you're like, dang, but it's a little too dewy. Nah, don't sleep, because what's happening is your pores are gonna be like, they're gonna sniff it and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, water, and they're gonna open up and they're gonna drink it, but slowly slowly throughout the day. So throughout the day, it just gets better and better and better. And it kind of like conspires with the humidity to just make you look like you're just a dewy goddess. Now, I mean, like, it adds moisture, but it retains moisture. Like, man, this right here, now this is $50. So for my baddies on a budget, which I'm also a baddie on a budget, okay? This means nothing. And it looks crazy and the tops are not on it because I'm using them, right? Is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. This right here is kind of the dupe, is literally the dupe for this. I really hate that it's not focusing, okay? And it's because of my light. It's because of my lighting, but I'm gonna pop the picture up anyway. So the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer with Sunscreen Broad Spectrum. This one is SPF 50, is fragrance free. For those of you who are, you know, sensitive to fragrance in your products, this one is the dupe. Don't get me wrong, this one is cosmetically way more pleasing. It feels better, it feels more amazing, but this does the same thing. And it feels good, especially if you got a virgin face to the SPF, to this SPF. It feels good too. It feels a little more tackier. So you know, like I prefer the other one, but if I'm on a budget or I need something real quick and I don't want to drop another 50 bucks, this one will do, right? Or if I'm being stingy with that one, this one will definitely do. It does the same thing. Because of that hyaluronic acid, your pores opens up and they start to drink that hyaluronic acid very, very slowly and over time. Again, this one feels a little greasier and a little tackier, but this one does the same thing. It's a great dupe. Now, the other SPF that I really, really like, and sometimes I bust this one out, like if well, it's tough. It's a tough one because I kind of like the Peter Thomas Roth when I'm like anywhere, right? Because it gives me that real sun-kissed dewy look, especially if I'm like, you know, like when I went to wherever I went recently, because I don't go anywhere that much, but when I went somewhere, like an island, where was it? St. Lucia. I had this on and I was just like a glowing goddess, you know what I mean? But if it's like, I mean, dumb hot and you sweating, the problem with these is, with the hyaluronic acids, is that you could look like you're just overly sweating, right? You could look like there's a thin line between dewy and you just like, girl, like pat yourself dry, like, you know what I'm saying? Get some napkins, right? And so when I'm gonna say, if you like in Sahara Desert type stuff, like if you in Arizona, like if you in, don't get me wrong, you feel like you want dewy, right? But it in some way is counterproductive because that can look very, very greasy. This is really good. And this is a good one too that I may use, and I hate that it's not showing up on camera, y'all. This is irritating me, but I'm gonna read it anyway. I'm gonna pop it up here. It's the La Roche-Posay 70 Broad Spectrum, basically SPF 70, and Thelios UV Correct Daily Lotion Sunscreen, helps reduce visible signs of sun damage. Then it has like the Celox B3 Shield, UVA, UVB plus antioxidants plus niacinamide. This is dope. Let me tell you what I like about all three of these, okay? So I'm gonna always keep it up. These are chemical sunscreens, right? Meaning they use chemical ingredients and chemical actives that's gonna provide the benefits that you need, right? That's gonna give you therapeutic benefits for your skin. This one is gonna improve your skin while it's protecting your skin, and this one is just gonna hydrate the crap out of your skin. You're just gonna be supple and soft at all times. But what I love about these for a melanated beauty like me is that it doesn't leave any residue. It doesn't leave any residue. It doesn't leave me looking white. I don't look zinky. I don't look pasty. The camera doesn't come on and I look like I'm wearing this 90% of the time when y'all are giving me compliments about how good I look. This is what I'm wearing. I'm just letting you know, okay? So it doesn't do any of that. It doesn't tint my skin. It doesn't do anything. I don't have to keep rubbing, right? And starting a forest fire on my face for it to have benefits. So I'm just letting y'all know, you don't gotta do what I'm doing. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of great dermatologist baddies on YouTube, okay? Like Dr. Alexis Stevens, you know, what is it? And some other people that I can't think of off the top of my head. You know, I might drop some names in a minute that go to them for your skincare needs. I'm just answering the question, girl, what is you doing? What is you doing? Yes, I said it correctly. What is you doing? And this is what I'm doing based on my dermatologist recommendation. But if you want like real skin tea, I'm not the girl for that. I know my wheelhouse. I'm here for her, okay? I'm here for her. I'm her for her, okay? So all that to say, I love those. And you know, my spidey senses kicked in. Like, what about Black Girl Sunscreen and a lot of different ones? Number one, I'm not a fan of mineral sunscreens. They tend to be very thick, very opaque, very heavy on my face. A lot of them I break out from. And I looked at the ingredients on the Black Girl Sunscreen and I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest with you. Like, so for For me, like, I like to make sure I'm using stuff that's non-comedogenic, that's not going to break out my skin, that's not going to exacerbate my acne, adult acne, by the way, and that's not gonna, you know, basically in easy terms, that's not gonna break me out. From what I hear, it's a great product and it works for other people. I'm not knocking anybody down. I'm not knocking any products down, especially not from a fellow Black queen. I just personally prefer chemical sunscreens. So that's my morning regimen, okay? Now, summertime, I don't have them here with me. I'm gonna insert a picture. I also use clindamycin wipes, okay? Clindamycin wipes. This is what I use in the summertime because I'm an oily girl. I'm naturally oily. I'm oily all year round, thank God, because my oils keep me fresh and popping. But my sebum just be fleeking during the wrong times and embarrassing. So I use the clindamycin wipes throughout the day. This is what you use when you start getting really oily. Instead of patting yourself dry with just like a oil, like a makeup remover or like an oil remover, I use the clindamycin wipes because the clindamycin, just like benzoyl peroxide, kills the SRS bacteria that's responsible for acne on your skin, right? So I use it, and when you use it, you'll see all this brown gook on it, and you just use that swab. It's good to use after a workout, like after you left the gym and you're working out and you're sweating and you have a whole bunch of sweat. You use the clindamycin wipes, boop, 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 pop it in the trash can. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's especially if you can't get to a sink or whatever, wash your face off. Those clindamycin wipes are great. You're out and about. Now, obviously, if you have makeup on, you know, do you want to use a clindamycin wipe? No, right? Because obviously it's gonna wipe off your makeup. It just is what it is. So, but if you're bare skin, like I am for the most part, and by the way, going back to the SPFs, you're gonna first, after you wash your face in the morning, you're gonna first put the SPF on, and then you're gonna apply your makeup. So you style as usual, right? So you do your makeup as usual. Because the hyaluronic acid ones already have hyaluronic acid, you don't need hyaluronic acid plus. And because the La Roche-Posay already has the niacinamide and the antioxidants, you don't need to add 99 serums in the morning, and then you don't gotta do all of that. You don't need to do all of that, okay? Yeah, they talk about vitamin C serums and all these other stuff, serums, and they're great, but when you have these combination products that already have what you need, you really don't need to do all of that, especially in the daytime, especially when it's hot, right? Especially when it's hot outside, and it's summertime that I'm giving you this information. I might drop another skincare regimen in the winter, but I'm gonna save that so I can have another video, you know what I mean? Going back, so if you're bare skin like me, then you wanna use those clindamycin wipes throughout the day. As you start to get real oily, instead of taking your hand and wiping your face, instead of taking something and blotting your skin and it's not doing anything, you take the clindamycin wipes, right? So that's really good for resetting your skin. And so that's the morning time. So now at night, it's really the same thing. I use a sodium sulfur cetamide wash to wash my face at night, right? The only difference now is I'm going to use a retinoid or retinol at night. So what I do is after I wash my face, over the counter, I use Vanny Cream, right? Vanny Cream is free of this, that. All the stuff you need it to be free of is free of all that stuff, okay? And it's dermatologist recommended. Insert whatever moisturizer you want. It don't have to be this one. I like this one because I could get a big tub for a decent price. Dermatologist recommended. It's safe enough for children. It's mild, so I'm gonna use it. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't have a whole lot of mess in it. Now, if you want to use your Korean skincare and your moisturizer with this and that, that's on you. But this is what I do at night. I either use this or a prescription one called Serum. I'll insert the picture. Serum, again, is a prescription only, so you would have to go see a doctor for a prescription on that one. But if not, the Vanny Cream will suffice. After that, I apply the retinoid. For me, I like one is a prescription called Epiduo. All it is adapalene and I think benzoyl peroxide. Let me Google it. Hold on. Yes, adapalene and benzoyl peroxide. So let me tell y'all what y'all could get over the counter. I love it because the benzoyl peroxide, again, killing the bacteria. It's, you know, it's functioning to kind of clear out the skin and do all of that. All right. So the adapalene is going to target the acne, unclog your pores, treat your acne spots, prevent breakouts. It improves your skin's texture. It smooths the skin. It adds a soft glow, and it improves signs of aging. It reverses photo damage, and it regenerates dermal collagen. Adapalene is dope, but my favorite thing about adapalene, it is good for lifting discoloration. If you are melanated, okay, adapalene is the retinoid that you want because it's gonna help lift a lot of discoloration. I mean, I could have a dark spot or something, and I use adapalene, and it's clearing it up on site. not immediately, but over a couple of days, it's clearing you up. Adapalene is dope. Now, if you want a dupe that you can get over the counter before you see a doctor, is Differin Gel. Differin Gel has adapalene in it. Adapalene is that girl, okay? It is that retinoid. That retinol is 0.1%. So it's, you know, it's not prescription grade, but it works. It still works, okay? Now, with retinoids, again, go see a dermatologist. There's ways that you have to introduce that into your skincare regimen. You can't just go applying a whole bunch of that every single day. Child, you gotta be careful, right? You gotta slowly introduce it. Maybe you might start off with using it twice a week at night after you apply the moisturizer, then you apply the retinoid. You might do it that way, or you might do 3 times, you know, and then you can bump it up to 5 times. Your skin has to build a resistance. When you first start introducing these things, you gotta do a little bit you gotta patch test. You gotta see what works, what doesn't work for you, because if you throw it all on your face like the kitchen sink, you are going to experience irritation because your skin is not used to it. You have virgin skin, then you're gonna throw everything away. So it takes time, but I really recommend it. I also recommend if you have a lot of discoloration, it's another Peter Roth Thomas product. I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but I did recommend this to a lot of friends and they use it and love it. And this, I might say, is kind of like a good precursor before you go retinol or retinoid if you still not ready for all of that yet. I'm just gonna put it right here because I really unfortunately cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I think it has glycolic acid in it. And you use it at night. You should only use it at night. Anyway, so listen, I really wish I had something else to say. I really wish that I had more tea, but that's my skincare regimen, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I was kind of all over the place because I wasn't structured with this one. I was just kind of just firing away what I do. But I hope this helps for those of y'all who want to know, you know, what's the skin tea. This is the skin tea. All right? Love you, baddies. Subscribe to my channel. I ain't even got to do the spiel. You already know what it is. Bye.